White Sox baseball on Chicago Sports Network is brought to you by Wintrust. Different approach, better results. The White Sox are back home in beautiful Chicago to face the Washington Nationals after a very successful road trip, 4-2, and looking great on offense, defense, and the pitching side. White Sox are playing some of their best baseball and looking forward to showing it to you right here on CHSN. Welcome into the ballpark, everybody. I'm Connor McKnight. Great to have you with us. I'll peel back the curtain just a bit. We're all pretty jacked up for tonight's ball game. Our very first Friday night all access of the season, which means we have Brooke Fletcher on the field with all of the latest of what's going on tonight. Brooke, still really exciting for the White Sox to be coming back home playing how they are.
Yeah, Connor, the West Coast was good for the White Sox, but I just love, what I love most is just you could really see what this team was capable of. Overall, just really good baseball, but now it's about how they can bring that back here at home as they gear up for the series against the Nationals. Let's get to our series setup, Connor.
Well, the Nationals have lost 3 of 4 to the Braves, then 2 of 3 to the Giants. The White Sox had a great trip, 4-2 like we mentioned. They got the A's and they got the Diamondbacks playing well.
Offensively, Washington can really score, though, averaging over 5.5 runs per game, one of the top marks in baseball. And the Sox know this lineup has power, but they can also beat you in a lot of different ways.
Well, the White Sox offenses looked like a 1998 Sports Center top 10 reel. Homers all over the place. Benintendi, Vargas, Montgomery, Murakami, Hill, Pereira, and even Sam Antonacci homered on the road trip.
And it's not just about the production, it's youth. These are 2 of the youngest rosters in the league, with the Sox and Nationals ranking 2nd and 3rd.
It was about 10 years before C.J. Abrams can actually run for president. But boy, has he been good in the lineup and has a good campaign case, a good running mate as well in James Wood. Those two have hit over 50% of the team's home runs.
But hey, let's give some credit to Colson Montgomery now. He's on a 6-game hit streak with 4 homers and 9 RBI. And it's not just the bat. His 4.3 WAR shows how he's impacting the game in a lot of different ways. Colson is swinging it well. We also have 2 of the hottest hitters in baseball. They go head-to-head here tonight. James Wood and Munetaka Murakami. They have been so good at the plate. John and Steve have more after the break. We'll be right back.
White Sox baseball on Chicago Sports Network is presented by Toyota. Visit your local Chicagoland Toyota dealer or Toyota.com today. Let's go places. By Davis Law Firm, your Chicago lawyer. By Prevagen, made for your brain. And by Wintrust. Different approach, better results. That's Wintrust. Visit wintrust.com/here to learn more. Well, if you like the long ball, we have got the series for you. Yordan Alvarez leads Major League Baseball with 11 home runs, but these 2 are not far behind. Munetaka Murakami for the Sox, James Wood for the Nationals. 2 of the young stars in this game will be on display here tonight. What's up, everybody? Welcome inside the booth alongside Steve Stone. I'm John Schriffen. Well, we all know I like to get a little hype. I like to get excited from time to time, especially with a home run or 2. And we should see a bunch of long balls with Murakami and Wood here going at it this series.
If you like young, powerful left-hand hitters who consistently hit the ball at the ballpark, you're going to love the game tonight because these 2 guys can really do it. Murakami, 10 home runs, 2nd in home runs, 4th in walks, 4th in barrel rate, hard hit rate, he's 5th, exit velocity, he's 4th. He's really burst on the scene, and he's becoming an international sensation. And James Wood is very young, 23 years old, 2nd in home runs, 3rd in walks, barrel rate, he's number 1. Hard hit rate, he's 4th, and exit velocity, he's 3rd. These guys are young, they're strong, they look like they're going to be on the horizon for great things coming up.
Coming up for the first time this year, it is Friday Night All Access. We will peel back the curtain and give you a look you cannot see anywhere else. And when we come back, Miguel Vargas will be on the mic with Brooke.
Welcome back to Friday Night All Access. I'm here with Miguel Vargas. Miguel, it was quite the road trip for you. 3 straight games with a homer. What felt different for you at the plate?
You know, I think it was a huge change for the whole offense. I think we all feel pretty good, and you know, hopefully we keep doing it tonight too.
Yeah, I feel like the message to this group is just trust the process. How gratifying was it just to see that all come together and you guys really lean into that?
You know, it feels great. It feels great to be part of it, and then you know, I think we're doing a really good job. Trust the guy behind you. You know, take good at bats and you know, make some runs early in the game too. So I think we're in a really good spot, and hopefully we do it tonight.
Overall, what can this group take away from that road trip that you want to carry in to tonight?
I think keep doing the way we've been playing. I think we're playing hard. We're playing quality game, good in defense. I think we need to keep doing that job, and we'll be a good night tonight.
Miguel, thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Guys, back to you.
All right, for the first time this season, we're in the City Connect. Bring them out, bring them out. White Sox will be using an opener as Brian Hudson gets the ball.
Hudson has been really good, and Blake Butera, his first season as a Nationals manager, doing a nice job with a team that is probably under-talented but very young.
If you look at the talent, it is all sitting at the top. James Wood, the man we highlighted in the open, he is a problem, followed by Lyle, House, Abrams. The bottom half of their order still getting it together, but they have some thumpers. Hudson is ready. His first pitch is in there. Strike one.
There's a look at the opener, Brian Hudson, who's done a great job. This is his first start, his 12th game, the ERA of 169, and he's gone to that four-seam fastball, and that's been the key. We'll take a look at how he's going to use his stuff tonight. That four-seam fastball half the time, backed up by the sweeper and the sinker. Don't look for too many cutters.
So our first look at James Wood this season. Just 23 years old, standing at 6'6". Comes from a basketball family, but he has starred here on the diamond. And he is the face of the franchise for the Nationals.
Well, what's really scary about him is he's doing all of this without really learning how to pull the ball yet. He's still very young at 23 years old. Center and left center field where he usually hits the ball. Let's take a look at the defense and how they're going to line up behind Hudson. It's Sam, Luis on Hill, and Tristan in the outfield left to right with Miguel, Colston, Chase, and Munetaka. Edgar Caro's got the plate. Our weather's presented by Four Seasons, heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electric. Beautiful night, 67 degrees, humidity at 65%, and the wind not much of a factor right now. Home plate umpire tonight, Will Little, calls strikes 12% above major league average, up to right-handers. I like that.
Left fielder Dalen Lyle, also just 23 years old. And a lot of the talent on the Nationals, they are homegrown. He was a second-round pick back in 2021 out of high school. In his rookie year last year, led all major league rookies with a batting average of .299.
Pretty impressive, and the impressive thing about this is the mainstays of their team are young players.
Hudson goes to first, and he's got him picked off. What a move from Brian Hudson.
Well, there's no doubt that he completely confused Wood. Watch Wood as he leans towards second base. He doesn't read this at all. And you can see he took a step back. That was like a cursory step, and then realized, uh-oh, I'm hung out to dry. Nice tag, and he's out by plenty.
So the leadoff walk is erased.
That's such a big play. You walk the leadoff hitter, and now you got a couple of good guys coming up next, and you got Abrams in the 4 spot. He comes into play if you don't turn a double play, but you pick a guy off, and maybe you see Abrams leading off next inning.
0-2. Now, we've seen the White Sox use an opener throughout this season. First time we've seen Brian Hudson, but with all the lefties, the top part of this order, you understand why the White Sox use him to start this game.
And a good plan, because you just as soon face Wood with a left-hander as opposed to a right-hander, especially as the leadoff hitter of the game.
Ground ball, and just past the dive of Mydroth. Let's go to Brooke for her scoop from the clubhouse.
Guys, there's a lot of belief in this building right now, and Will Venable said, listen, the belief has always been there, but sometimes it just takes one thing to get the ball going. And Andrew Benintendi, he said, I love the confidence that I'm seeing from the guys right now. We saw it in the second half of last season, and even with the early struggles this season, he said nobody panicked, nobody wavered, they just trusted the process. He said the bats, they are hot right now, and that is contagious. He just wants to see guys continue that here tonight.
We would love to see what we saw from the offense over the course of the road trip carry over here to Chicago, because it was so much fun to watch.
Well, you got the night for it because the wind is blowing out toward left center field, and it will take anything out of the park to left and left center. See the flags there, and the wind swirls here, but it's still going to carry the ball to left or left center.
House laid on that fastball, and it's 0-2.
That was the former high draft pick for them, and hasn't yet shown what they saw when they drafted him way high in the draft.
Strike 3.
Well, there's no doubt that the fastball is the key, because he threw 3 by him. It's upstairs, just a little above belt high, and will give you the wind effect. It's pluses across the board, no bias down the right field line.
White Sox and Nationals are in a very similar rebuild position right now. The Nationals have a lot of young talent, like this guy, C.J. Abrams, just 25 years old. And they're giving them all the runway to see if they can be stars here at this level. When you look at youngest average rosters in terms of average age, White Sox, Nationals, you can see that's what the rebuild is all about.
Well, everybody thinks the Marlins are a very young team, and yet there's 2 teams here that are just above them. Abrams is just learning how to come into his power. He's got a chance to be something special. He's very good now, and he's going to get substantially better when he learns how to hit a lot of pitches out of the park.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Grounded to Murakami at first, who steps on the bag, and that'll do it. Nice job by Brian Hudson. Sox bats come up when we come back. Take a look at the starting lineup for the Chicago White Sox with a lefty opener on the mound. Will Venable wants to be a little flexible at the top. That's why Everson Pereira will lead off for the first time this season. We've seen Andrew Benintendi there, so we could see him slot in there at some point later in this game. My job, Murakami, Vargas, Montgomery. There are some big bats. They are hot. We hope they stay hot tonight.
There is the opener, P.J. Poulin. This is the 4th time he's been used as an opener. His 15th appearance. He's been a busy man. A little over 12 innings. The ERA a tick under 5. Strikeouts, walks about the same. This is how he's going to use his stuff. The sweeper is first and foremost, backed up by the 4-seamer, then the changeup, then the sinker. So he has to change speeds a lot.
Talked about the similarities between the White Sox and the Nationals. Not just youth, not just power, but in terms of pitching, the Nationals are still trying to figure things out in terms of their starting rotation and their bullpen.
Let's take a look at the defense and how they're going to line them up. It's Lyle, Young, and Wood in the outfield left to right, with Vivas, Abrams, Nunez, and Garcia Jr. at first. Drew Millis has got the plate, and we told you about Poulin, the opener.
Everson Pereira hits it hard to short. It is Abrams, slips as he throws, and that pulls Garcia Jr. off the bag. So Pereira is safe at first.
I would think that would be a base hit, only because watch the back foot of Abrams here. He gets to the ball, that's good. And then as he goes to plant, his foot slips. The throw is just off the mark, as you can see clearly. The foot not on the bag at first base for Garcia, and a promising way to start this one. That is a base hit.
So using Pereira at the top, it has worked so far in this first inning with Chase Mydroth at the plate.
Eventually, I could see Chase becoming a very good hit and run man, because he likes to hit the ball to the right side. Will has not broken it out of the bag too often, but like I said, eventually it's going to happen.
It appears he's trying to go that way.
And Pereira got what he thought was a decent jump, but when he didn't get it, he stopped. So the hit and run was not on. And now at 0-2, you just don't use it.
We've had so many incredible home run streaks recently by Vargas, Montgomery, Murakami. That what Chase Mydroth is doing at the plate somehow gets lost. He enters the game tonight with an 8-game hit streak.
He's got the batting average up to 264. So he's come a long way back in this young season. See, that's not fair. He saw what Hudson did, and then he's trying to do it himself. I mean, it's a copycat league. I understand that, but sometimes it just doesn't work.
He tried it. Not quite as good of a move as Hudson.
No,
though.
it wasn't.
There goes the runner. Throw down to second. A high throw. And a stolen base for Pereira.
He saw the move once and knew that he could go, and it's a high throw. Everson in easily before the tag. Ryan Wills on the call, and he's clearly safe.
First stolen base of the season. Now Mydroth trying to push him to third. 2-2. Love the look of the City Connect uniforms. First time the White Sox wearing them this season here on Friday night.
I like the pinstripes. I think that's pretty nice.
Nobody out here in this first inning. What Mydroth does, he has become a very pesky hitter at the plate. He is patient, doesn't chase out of the zone, but anything in the zone, his swing is so compact that he can just either foul it away or put it in play where he wants to.
Well, you'd love to see a big pitch inning, but it's not as critical with an opener because he's not going to go along anyway.
2-2. In the air to right field, this is Wood drifting to his left. That is deep enough for Pereira to tag, and he will advance to third. So Chase Mydroth does his job. How about the road trip the last 6 games for Munetaka Murakami?
It was absolutely startling. 12 for 27. 5 home runs, 10 driven in. The OPS ridiculous. And a lot of people don't realize, yes, he is a slugger, but also he's becoming a very good hitter overall. Well, as you can see, you don't want to throw it down the middle, and certainly you don't want to throw him middle away. He's pretty hot regardless of where you throw him. And up and in is everybody's trouble spot if you swing from the left side.
Infield in for the Nationals. And it was something we saw in the ballgame yesterday in Arizona. Murakami was looking for his 6th straight game with a home run. It was snapped. He went 1 for 5. But you notice they were pitching him in a lot in that ballgame. You talked about not letting him get his arms extended.
Well, that's the best way to do it if you can throw strikes inside. But with his eye, which is outstanding, he's not going to swing at pitches in off the plate. And eventually you're going to have to come out where he wants it. He would love the ball if he could middle in but thigh high. They're trying to jam him off the plate, and he's just taking them.
2 balls and a strike. Off speed pitch gets the swing and miss. Count is even here at 2-2. Pereira on at third with 1 out in this first inning. See, the ball people here know they can play it when it's already ruled foul. In Phoenix, they had a little issue.
Well, we've sent our ball people to ball people school, and so they can tell exactly where the ball is going to be, and that was well played. And as you can see, he still has his job, which they can't say in Arizona.
Sam Antonacci will never forget that one.
No.
Two balls, two strikes. Swing and a miss, strike three. Well, at part of Friday Night All Access, third base coach Justin Jersley, he is mic'd up for us. Let's take a listen.
We got one out. If they come in here, we're going to go on contact. Okay? Sell out for contact. You got me? He's going to be tight here, right? Ball hits catcher's glove. Be ready for that back pick. One out.
I mean, that's the kind of stuff you just don't get anywhere else. A huge thank you to Justin Jersley for wearing the mic. We will have that throughout the broadcast tonight.
And when he says sell out for contact, what he means is you're running on anything. If you see the ball in the infield, you're going. Outfield, obviously, you're going to tag up, but you want to score that run. Justin knows it's a big run to score the first run.
Missing outside, ball one. 1-0 the count here to Miguel Vargas.
He came an eyelash from homering in 4 games in a row. Alec Thomas caught that ball maybe a foot from the fence on the final at bat in the final game of the series.
High in the air to right field. It is Wood coming in towards the line, and he will make the catch. When we come back as part of Friday Night All Access, the general manager, Chris Getz, will be in the booth. Everything is fair game. We can ask him whatever we want.
Need a new man.
Welcome back to the rate. Top of the second we go. We are scoreless. Opening game of this series against the Nationals. This half inning is brought to you by Wintrust.
And Eric Fetty comes in the ball game after a good inning by Hudson. And we'll take a look at the numbers. This is his 5th game, 20 innings, the ERA below 4. Walk rate pretty good, and chase rate pretty good.
All right, here he is, general manager Chris Getz in the booth. Thank you so much for always making time for us.
Steve, how are you guys?
You look like the smartest man in baseball right now. When others passed, you decided to sign Murakami. Take us back to the offseason as that was all playing out. How did that come about that you decided that he was going to be a White Sox guy?
Well, I mean, high-profile player, obviously over in Japan. He a lot of accomplishments. You know, we had scouted him, we've watched him, but candidly didn't really think it was going to be realistic that he was going to become a White Sox. But you know, we stay on it. Honestly, it's part of the pursuit. You know, you get earmarked interests. You earmark the interest with the agent. And you just stay on it, you know, with the uniqueness of a posting window, 30-day window, you know, that being overlaid with other players that are on the free agent market, just played in the hands of the White Sox.
As teams were dropping out, as this one is in the air to right field, Peters makes the catch at the warning track. What were some of the things you were seeing in maybe his metrics or his swings that didn't scare you, that potentially scared other teams?
Well, I mean, the 3 main objectives, you've got decision making, you've got contact ability, you got power. We were pretty confident that he hit on 2 of those areas. Now the contact also is probably the most difficult thing to teach and develop. But with that being said, that's a base hit through the shortstop there. But with that being said, you know, we're talking about a guy that hadn't had the same exposure to velocity. That was a question. All right, contact ability against high velocity. Well, you know, if you're over in Japan and you're, you know, assessing just the pitching that they're facing on a regular basis, they're not seeing that type of velocity on top of the training methods. And some of the training methods that we have here and we apply to our guys is, you know, high velocity training, whether it be pitching machines, the traject machine, and also other drills that can help improve some things. There are some mechanical adjustments you can make as well. So you know, when it comes to scouting, you've got to have an imagination. You got to believe in players. That you got to believe that players can get better. And when you have a really good work ethic, which he does, high acumen for the game, and determination to want to prove to the league that he can play at a high level, that's a pretty good recipe for success, and we're seeing it happen in front of us.
And Chris, how much did character play into it? Because we've seen his interactions in the locker room, and he seems to really enjoy being here, and the players enjoy playing with him. Was that a big factor in your evaluation?
It was significant. I mean, you start with the skills, you start with the tools, but you got to understand, you know, the player. You got to understand the personality, the makeup. And it was very clear, though, that he mixed in well with teammates. He had a really strong reputation. And we were right on that front, because you watch him interact with his teammates, plus the work ethic, how he handles himself on and off the field. You know, he checks all those boxes. So, you know, obviously the production is what, you know, you're going out and you're making that commitment for. But that production is also higher likelihood of happening if, of course, the makeup is right.
Fans are obviously really excited about Murakami and what he's doing so far, but they know after 2 years potentially he could be gone. What kind of conversations are you having right now about the future of keeping him in a White Sox uniform?
Well, you know, he's off to a really good start.
This one is in a deep right center field as Peters will make the catch, tagging from third and scoring. The Nationals get on the board first here in this second inning.
You know, everything that he's doing right now, it seems, we believe that it is sustainable. But, you know, most importantly, we really just wanted him to get over here and get comfortable. Get comfortable in the U.S., Chicago, Major League Baseball, and tried to support him in a way that he could just go out there and play baseball. So, obviously, we're nearing a month into the season. He's off to a great start. You know, he's a very talented guy that has, you know, got off to a great start, and, you know, we'll continue to talk about it, and if we have those conversations with his agents, we'll go ahead and do that.
I like the sound of that. Stay with us. We'll be back for the next half inning. Colson Montgomery has also been one of the hottest hitters on this team over the last 6 games. 10 hits, 4 bombs. He has driven in 9 runs. One of the power hitters on this team, heating up right now. And we're back here with General Manager Chris Getz, just talking to us about the development of Colson Montgomery. You sent him away last season to Arizona, the complex, to get him back on target. What have you seen from him early this season?
Well, you know, his second half last year, when he came up, I mean, he showed baseball what he was capable of doing. Now, April baseball is different than, you know, July, August, September. There could be different competition. The weather's a little bit different, just that front end of the year. And, you know, Colson has more or less picked up right where he left off. I mean, I know early on he was getting settled and there was some swing and miss in there. That's going to come and go. That's just kind of part of, you know, his development. But he's pretty locked in right now. That West Coast trip, I think, served him well, and hopefully he can bring it back to the Midwest.
Chris, how gratifying is it to enact a plan in spring training along with Will and his staff, carry it over even through the tough times early in this season, and see now it's coming to fruition?
Well, you know, we were talking about it today. You know, the Milwaukee Brewers, for one. We open up with the Milwaukee Brewers. You got a team that they've got good pitching. They got starters. They got a bullpen. They play good defense. They make a lot of contact. They wreak havoc on the bases. You've got to bring your A game, and we didn't. And we got exposed. They took advantage of it. You know, I know the Brewers have fallen in the standings over there. That's a pretty tight division. But with that being said, I think we almost needed to get hit in the mouth a little bit and regroup. We had some pitchers that weren't going deeper in the games, which we all know that can lead to, you know, a rougher bullpen or bullpen outings that are maybe not what we would like to see. They get overused, overextended, and we were wearing that for a little bit. But things have settled in, and then, you know, we've gone out there and scored some runs and been able to not only just play catch up and perhaps, you know, take some W's there, but we've had some quality leads too, which has allowed us to gain a little bit more confidence and play better baseball.
I know you're always working, you're always busy. Where were you this past road trip in terms of watching the games, and what was it like for you? You see this offense go back to back to back in one game, and then the streaks from Vargas, Montgomery, Murakami. Were you just like a fan, like all of us, seeing all these balls fly out?
Well, you know, I know that there's some novelty to go to a minor league stadium, but I think it was a bit of a kickstart for us. Some balls were flying out, guys were starting to feel a little bit some camaraderie in the dugout, and you know, hitting is contagious. You know, it really is. And you know, we were able to you know, hit some big homers, and that kind of continued throughout the lineup, and we took that into Arizona as well. But it's about the quality of at bats, and yeah, you can have power, but you got to be able to lay off pitches outside of the zone, and we've been able to do that. So hopefully we can carry this momentum into this homestand.
I think a lot of people want to know about McDougal. He came out of the ball game, and Kyle Teal, as far as health is concerned.
Sure. You know, Tanner McDougal, he was covering first base last night, and he felt some tightness in his hamstring, so we took him out of the game. You know, we tested it after the game, and the strength was pretty good. Obviously, you want to see how he feels today. We're going to alter his start-to-start program in between, make sure we're not aggravating that hamstring, but it's really more tight than anything. He is scheduled to make his next start without adding any more time in there. It's a hit by pitch.
Hit by pitch there. Antonacci, something he is very used to coming up in the minors.
Well, look, you get hit 39 times last year and have your mother say, you know, why don't you use a different game plan? And he says, I don't think so. This is how I make my living. And that if you're going to get hit, that's not a bad place to get hit.
I would agree with that. There was no avoiding that one. Sometimes you step into it and you know, perhaps you can sling blade it or something, but in this case, that one you just got to stay there and turn your backside.
All right, pitching change. We're going to step aside. Stay with us. Chris Getz, general manager, will be back with us after this break.
Look at this guy. There is their bulk reliever, Miles Michaelis, on for the 6th time. The ERA is something he'd like to forget, but last time out he threw it a whole lot better. So Washington looking for good things out of him.
All right, back with general manager Chris Getz here in the booth. A lot of the moves that have been made this season have been with pitchers, whether they be a starter or a reliever. Update us on Shane Smith, how he's progressing after being sent down, and also what have you thought of the bullpen so far this year?
Yeah, Shane, you know, since he's been sent down, his first 2 outings were solid. There's some drill packages that you know, we gave to him, and he's been working through. Yeah, there's some mechanical stuff that has led to, you know, a little bit of an erratic attack of the zone, primarily his 4-seam fastball and his curveball. So I know he's pitching tonight. You know, I checked in early, looked like it was a little shaky in terms of strikes, but he's such a big part of our future. He showed what he was capable of doing last season. We know it's in there. He showed glimpses of it even when he was up here with those 3 starts, that final start. But we know that there's better Shane Smith, you know, that he can bring to this team. And so we're working on that right now, and we look forward to bringing him back when the time is right. You know, with the bullpen, I think early on, you know, I noted it, that our starters weren't going deep into games, Shane being one of them, quite honestly. And, you know, you know, the beating that it takes on a bullpen, you know, it really is something that when you're taxed, you're not going to be as productive. And he's thrown out. But we hope to get settled. We do.
All right. Chris Getz, general manager, always appreciate you coming up to the booth, spending some time. Thank you so much.
Steve, thanks.
When we come back, the new hitting coach, Derek Showman, will be on the mic with Brooke as part of Friday Night All Access.
This copyright.
Welcome back to Friday Night All Access. I'm here with White Sox hitting coach Derek Showman. Derek, when you have an opener here, how does that impact just the overall approach early on from this lineup?
Yeah, I mean, you're looking to take advantage of that as fast as you can. As far as like how we advance going into our meetings that day, it's just really touching on the guys that we think are going to face them and kind of give them those quick hitters of what like a successful game plan looks like against them, and then it's moving on to the guy that's going to have the bulk after him.
We got to talk about Sam Antonacci just wearing that hit by a pitch there. Just what have you noticed about his toughness so far?
Yeah, I think it's every bit of like what I was told about him when I took this job, and I think he actually likes it to some degree. He doesn't shy away from contact, that's for sure.
Okay, we've got to talk about this road trip. 18 homers in 7 games. What is behind this power surge?
It's always been there. We have guys that can slug, right? And so when you look at like the last 10 versus the first 15, I think the most notable thing is we're walking at a high clip. We're making good swing decisions, so we're forcing pitchers to get back into the strike zone. And you know, we think about last night's game, like how that developed. Chase drawing a walk, TP bunting him over, Q drawing a walk, and now Sewald has to attack Benintendi in that situation. And it's like those guys ahead of him set it up for Benny to get a pitch in the zone that he can handle and ultimately give us the lead. So like that's what good process looks like, and I think that kind of encapsulates what we were doing these last 10.
Yeah, you talk about the process. I feel like trust the process has been like the overall talking to coaches and the guys. How gratifying is that for you just to kind of see everything come together and have that breakthrough?
Yeah, super gratifying, obviously, but like I think just like for the players, like them knowing like, okay, what we're doing is like the right thing. And although, you know, we did have to clean some things up early on, like there were things that were good, and so they just like have this peace of mind knowing like, all right, this isn't like a total like revamp or like rehaul. It's like, let's just stay the course, like continue to make good swing decisions, continue to like take our walks and hit balls hard on a line, even if they're not falling, like they're going to break at some point.
Derek, I appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
All right, Brooke, thank you so much. You can see why there was no panic in this lineup. Derek Showman, very cool, very calm. They took a page out of his book, and they understood that things would turn around for this offense, and it certainly did over this road trip.
He appears to me the kind of guy that is cool and calm on the exterior, but it's boiling and churning inside.
He's got to get into the head of every single hitter on this team. Top of the third, Nationals with a 1-0 lead. This half inning is brought to you by Hyundai. And that's the hardest part, tailoring a plan for each guy and where they're at in the season.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons why most teams have gone to 2 hitting coaches, because it encompasses so many guys. You've got power hitters, you've got singles hitters, you've got guys who can have speed as part of their game. You got to know how to get the best out of everybody.
Rate is a proud partner of the 2026 White Sox. The Rate app gives Chicago fans an all-in-one wellness app with tools to build financial strength and guidance for fitness and stress management. Feel better, live better, play better. Download the Rate app today. Whoa, watch out. Also, there's so many different training tools and methods that guys will use. Some guys love that traject machine. Some guys like the soft toss behind the scenes. Some guys like the live BP on the field. So you got to be able to tailor that to each guy as well.
And there, John, there's something about this era of baseball that hitting coaches had to evolve into, and that is just about every one of these guys, especially the high-profile guys, they've got their own personal hitting coaches. You've got to coordinate what you want to teach him with what his hitting coach is teaching him.
Ground ball, Murakami. He will keep it himself. And there's 2 away here in this 3rd inning.
That's something that isn't easy, because this is a kind of a fairly new development, because it used to be you were the hitting coach and you talk with the player and said, okay, I'd like you to do this. We go over the video and your hands are here, whatever. But now you have to coordinate it with their personal hitting coaches. What are you teaching them? What do you want to accomplish? Why are you doing this? And let me do this kind of thing. And it's not an easy ask.
That's one of the things that impressed a lot of the players about Derek Showman. He logged a lot of miles in the offseason. No, he went to the personal homes of a lot of these players where either they were living at the time in the offseason or where they were training to spend an individual time. He was in Miami with Vargas. He was in Nashville with Montgomery with a bunch of other guys. He was all around the country to build that relationship before spring training started.
Well, we say it a lot, and it's like any salesman. If you buy me, you're going to buy everything I'm selling. And that's what he's doing.
Eric Fetty, nice job here in the 3rd. When we come back, we will meet the new pitching coach. Zach Bove will be on the mic. Friday night, All Access rolls on.
Welcome back to Friday Night All Access. I'm here with White Sox pitching coach Zach Bove. Zach, what have you seen from Eric Fetty so far?
Yeah, he's been good. Filling up the zone, attacking guys. Haven't got a lot of hard contact, so kind of that's the plan.
Brian Hudson has been so good in April, and you decided to go with him as the opener. Can you kind of take me through the strategy behind going with an opener and who you decide to use in that moment?
For sure. Yeah, it's a unique case. But like, top of the lineup is the best hitters. So if we can kind of take those guys out of for the starters, they get a little easier landing. They can go deeper in the games. It, helps the guy coming in. It's a good matchup, and it helps the starters kind of go longer in the games.
All right, you talk about the lineup with the Nationals because you got C.J. Abrams and you got James Wood. What makes them so dangerous?
Yeah. I mean, they have power, right? They don't leave the zone much, so you got to generally get them out in the zone. So you just got to make good pitches. We feel good if we execute pitches. We like the outcomes against them.
Yeah, we were talking to Brian Bannister, and he mentioned there were a lot of moving parts to start the season: R&D, coaching staff, and just players overall. Just how pleased have you been with just how this group has really come together?
Yeah, it's great. The players are great, super open to suggestions, information, so like that. Staff's been good. The collaboration, like you mentioned, has been awesome with the different departments. At the end of the day, we're just trying to find ways to make the guys better.
We're going to see Noah Schultz on the mound. Just what have you seen from him over the last 2 starts, and just what's impressed you?
Noah's super impressive. Obviously the stuff's the easy part, right? Big guy, but really good kind of mindset about him. Wants to get better. The stuff is really good. Attacking the zone with all his multiple pitches, so he's going to be fun to work with.
Zach, thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Guys, back to you.
All right, Brooke, thank you so much.
Well, you asked Chris Getz about Shane Smith, who is a big part of this organization, and tonight, as Chris alluded to, wasn't one of his better nights. 2 2/3, gave up 3 hits, walked 3, which is important, gave up 5 runs, 4 earned with 5 strikeouts. The stuff is there. He's just not locating it.
Hopefully Shane Smith can get back on track as Tristan Peters will fly out here for out number 2. Let's go back to Jersley, who's mic'd up for us tonight.
Check him out. What do you want to do here? Give him 1.
You need some hand signals in this game because you can't be yelling out everything, and so they're moving around a few of the people to get them positioned well, and Jersh is the guy that's going to move them around.
So we talked about wanting flexibility at the top of the order, and Andrew Benintendi is the pinch hitter for Pereira here with 2 outs in the 3rd. That was some home run he hit in the 9th inning yesterday to give the Sox the lead and the series win against the Diamondbacks.
Well, it was certainly very important, and Derek Showman explained it perfectly how teams work as teams. That home run was not hit in a vacuum, but a couple of guys on after a couple of walks meant that he had to come in to Benny. So the preceding 2 hitters taking walks, showing patience, set up the home run as it turned out, and that's why this is called a team, and when they play together, they're pretty tough to beat.
Let's take a look at that shot. 9th inning tie ball game.
As you can see, he got most of it. And let me tell you something, with the roof closed, that's not an easy thing to do, and he crushed it.
Benintendi gets underneath this one, and the air to shallow right field as Wood will make the catch and put an end to this 3rd. When we come back, the 2nd-year manager, Wilt Venable, will be on the mic after the break.
Welcome back to Friday Night All Access. I'm here with White Sox manager Will Venable. Will, what have you seen from Brian Hudson and Eric Fetty so far on the mound?
Yeah, good throwing strikes. That error cost us there in the 2nd inning, but good job pounding the zone.
When I asked you about James Wood before the game, you said he's just a monster. He drew a walk, but how do you keep him off the bases?
Yeah, we're going to try and mix it up. Some fastball, some spin. He's a tough guy to contain.
At the plate for you guys, only a hit. What needs to change just to get things going offensively?
Yeah, we'll get rolling here. Just got to continue to swing good pitches, make good swing decisions, and put pressure on them.
Thanks, Will.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
Well, there's a very talented young man, and Fetty got him on some slow breaking stuff. Now, that's good. However, you can't just stay there because he's got the ability to adjust.
Chopper to the right side. It is Meitroth with the play. Let's go to Connor for some news and notes.
9 straight wins for the Cubs. They've brought their green hat everywhere lately. Tonight they're in LA to play the Dodgers and keep the streak going. Phillies are still looking for the quad on their way to the gymnasium. They haven't lost like this since Costner was in for love of the game. Yordan Alvarez has taken off like a Saturn V rocket, but at 10-16, the Astros are in a tough way. It's been really difficult for Houston, John and Steve.
I appreciate that. Also, how about this note? Connor Griffin, we talked about him a bit. The new star, the young man for Pittsburgh Pirates. His birthday today, turned 20 years old. Well, he hit his first big league home run today, so happy birthday to him.
I think it's great. I mean, he'd like to buy a drink, certainly, but he can't, so it'll be a while down the road. But you get that kind of money before ever playing, he's probably really good.
Pellegrino's all around. On a line to center field, coming in is Acuna to make the play for out number 2. This half inning is brought to you by Toyota. Nationals with a 1-0 lead here over the White Sox as Eric Fetty on the mound, facing the team that drafted him and also let him go after spending parts of his first 6 big league seasons in Washington.
I mean, that's where he learned how to pitch, and he's still around, changing speeds, changing locations, and that's how he's got to do it these days. Look at his career with the Nationals. As you can see, games started. He started the majority of them. The ERA was up there. The WHIP was higher than he would like. When he was here last time, he was a very good pitcher for us.
That 2024 season, he was outstanding. It was the year after he came back from Korea, had reestablished himself as a starter, and the White Sox dealt him at the trade deadline. Coming into tonight, his career against Washington, 2-0, an ERA of 0. I'd say he gets a little amped up to see that Nationals across the chest.
Yeah, the team that brought you to the major leagues, you usually take a lot of incentive into the game with you.
In the air to left field, this is Antonacci. Another strong inning here for Eric Fetty.
Experience.
Bottom of the 4th we go. Sox down 1-0. This half inning is brought to you by Davis Law. How about this weather coming home to this in Chicago? This is what I'm talking about.
We got here and Roger Bossard had the tarp close to the field, and the happiest moment of the night was when they rolled it up and took it back against the wall right over there, which is really nice. And we're not going to be delayed. We're going to play this one through.
Maybe that's what's helped this team. You get the warm weather out in Sacramento. It was really warm in Phoenix, although it was inside in the dome. And now you come back here to great temperatures here, comfortable in Chicago.
Well, I think that's a big factor, very much so. Because you can ask 100 hitters, professional hitters, do they like to hit in cold weather? And 100 will tell you no. The game was meant to be played 80 degrees and above, and that's where we feel best.
Chase Meitroth leads off this home half of the 4th inning. White Sox with 1 hit tonight. There's the leadoff single from Everson Pereira. And that pitch missed, but a challenge.
Milas thought it was in the zone. It appears to be. And there it is. So they will retain 2 challenges. And that was a sinker, just barely caught the bottom part of the zone. You see the 2-seamer, and then you see the rotation. That 2-seamer is going to take the ball down as it approaches the hitter.
Munetaka Murakami second at bat tonight. First time up, he struck out. We talked about ABS and challenges and how the strategy is kind of evolving as the season goes on. We talked to Will Venable about that before the game. And he said early in the game, he lets the guys do what they want. He said we have complete trust in them. But he said something interesting in the game yesterday. After Benintendi hit that home run, he told all of his hitters, do not challenge anything. I want to save our final challenge so when we're in the field defensively for the bottom half of the inning in case we need it.
Yeah, I mean, that's looking at every angle and making the most out of what you have.
Murakami, this one deep, right center field, back it goes! Get out! Cue the fireworks here on Friday night, because Moon A went deep.
When we see the replay of this, look at this swing. And this swing will show you just how strong this man is. Because he didn't get near all of that ball, and it just kept on going. He now is tied with Alvarez for the major league lead in home runs. Oh, and by the way, it is a 1-1 game.
My mouth is open right now. How that ball got out.
He just flicked at that ball. I mean, sometimes you see a guy swing and you realize, well, that's going to go a long way because it was like max effort. That time, he just kept his hands back enough to just flick it at the end, and it went out of the park.
Even as he was rounding the bases, he had a little smile like, yeah, that one got out. That is something.
There's nothing better than doing it in front of the home crowd. And most of his home runs have come on the road. So he's got to be a happy young man, and the fans certainly are happy.
8 home runs on the road. That is his 3rd home run here at the rate. As Miguel Vargas, he will dump this one into left field.
Let's go back to the home run and take a look at it again. So this is a changeup. And because it's a changeup, the foot comes forward, but that's okay because the hands stay back. He caught it off the end of the bat. He wasn't even on the sweet spot, but it doesn't have to be. He's so strong. The swing is grooved. It was right there, and he rode it out of the ballpark, and that's really impressive.
Stretch ball. Stretch ball. Let's go.
Stretch indeed.
And I asked Chris Getz if there are conversations about keeping him in a White Sox uniform for a long time, and he said, well, if we talk to his agent and we like it, get his agent on the phone. Lock this man up. We want him in Chicago forever.
But the interesting part about it is what hitters are doing these days. He went right to the iPad and he's taking a look.
Chop in first, they get 1 and 2nd, back to the bag, and a double play is turned. But Murakami goes deep, and he is tied for the major league lead in home runs this season. The home crowd is loving it. This game is tied at 1. Top of the 5th we go. We are all tied after that Murakami home run. This half inning is brought to you by St. Xavier University. Sun is starting to set, which means the moon will come out here. Maybe a moon shot from Moon A.
He's already had one, and he caught it off the end of the bat. The most amazing part about that was the exit velocity was 104 miles an hour, and it went 415 feet. Normally, to do that, a guy has got to swing out of his shoes. All he did was flick it off the end of the bat, and out it went.
You could even see his weight come forward. It was incredible.
The weight can come forward, keep the hands back, and the pitcher's in trouble.
Can you remember a time where a player just seemed to amaze you and do something special game after game after game like this?
You know, I think the closest is what Ohtani did, both with the Angels, but especially with the Dodgers. And when people would come to the ballpark specifically to see him, it was almost like Fernando mania with the Dodgers. Well, Mooney mania is coming around on a daily basis.
Sox fans, head down to the ballpark tomorrow as the White Sox take on the Washington Nationals at 3 o'clock. 15,000 fans that are 21 years and older will receive this, a 90 City Connect jacket presented by Miller Lite. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/promos. Steve, we got our first look at it.
We do.
This thing is sharp. You open it up. I'm telling you, people are going to want this one. Come on out to the ballpark. This is a hot item.
Well, look, when we came up here, they had your jacket on my seat, my jacket on your seat. And I went and opened the jacket, and I asked Chris Withers, our fine producer, if he wanted to get in here with me. So now we have all things right. I have the medium, you have the extra, extra large, and all is right with the world.
I'm telling you, get your tickets, come out to the ballpark. Murakami will be blasting shots. You will have this sick pullover. It is time now for the GovX Hero of the Game.
Tonight we pay tribute to Technical Sergeant Lance Choco of the United States Air Force.
Always appreciate the GovX Hero of the Game, where everybody stands up, salutes, and pays tribute to the men and women who serve this country. Runner goes, throw down by Caro, and not in time. A stolen base for Nunez.
Edgar made a pretty good throw here, but the jump is so big that there's no chance to get him at second base. That's why to throw out base stealers, it's coordination between the catcher and especially the pitcher. You allow a good base runner that kind of a jump, he's most likely going to steal second.
Each team with 3 hits tonight. A tie game here at 1 in this top of the 5th inning. White Sox used an opener in Brian Hudson. And Eric Fetty now getting ready to throw his 50th pitch as he is the bulk reliever tonight. Breaking ball, that is delivered into center field. They're going to hold the runner at third as Acuna's throw comes all the way to the plate.
From the first pitch to the final out, never lose track of the game with the CHSN app. Stream White Sox baseball live, plus pre and post game coverage and full game replays on demand. Start your 7-day free trial today at subscribe.chsn.com. Chicago Sports Network, full stream ahead.
White Sox were fortunate there that Garcia did not end up on second base, as that throw from center field air-mailed the cutoff.
You've got to hit the cutoff man. You have to stop the trailer and keep the double play in order, because the Sox, being relatively early in the game, they'll give up the run for a double play. They're back in the middle, in at the corners.
Showing bunt, and they got the runner hung up now. Vargas running at him. Now it's Caro's turn. Back to Vargas. The tag is there. Nice job by the Sox.
Last year, that was an outstanding play, and a lot of teams were used to it, so they didn't take much of a lead at third. But it's a safety squeeze. Not much safety here, as he's hung out to dry, and the Sox do it well on the rundown. Nice job by Edgar. There's a lot of ways to help win baseball games, and if you're not doing it with your bat, you got a chance to do it with your glove and your arm.
It's been so fun to see the two of them develop with Caro and Vargas, because you mentioned Vargas is the guy who initiates those pickoff plays, and Caro was so good at it last year, and they have had such good chemistry it's forming since last year.
Well, it took a lot of things together, and now the umpires are going to meet, and this should be interesting.
Lance Barksdale at third is the crew chief.
It was something Blake Butera, I think, initiated. Must have been catcher's interference somehow.
The call on the field is catcher's interference. The batter's awarded first base.
And Will says play on because there's not much you can do with that. So they took a look at it, and Milas is aboard.
So it is ruled E2 on Edgar Caro.
This one is unlike that entire road trip. The Sox went the entire series against the Diamondbacks, and they did not commit an error. I would think maybe because he reached up and touched the bat after the ball went by, and that's what happens. That's all it takes.
Because Millis didn't even commit to a swing there, but if you get in the bat path,
and that's unfortunately,
all it takes.
yeah, that's what happens. And so now you have to face their slugger with 2 on and only 1 out.
A 1 count here to James Wood. Let's go back to that bunt. It was sniffed out by Justin Jerschley. And defensively, the Sox were ready.
Just a 2-5. Outstanding defense on that play. Edgar is about as quick a guy as there is around. That play, that pickoff at third, was really made for a catcher with his skills. And the coordination with Vargas is something that you don't get the out without good coordination.
Breaking ball, strike 2.
It was soft breaking balls the last time when he struck him out. Eric Fetty knows that. So does Wood. That's why this is one of the key pitches of the ball game at this point.
As Fetty will wheel around to second, nobody covering. Bring everyone out to the ballpark this weekend for Family Sundays presented by Coca-Cola. You can enjoy family-friendly activities, plus kids can run the bases after the game. Tickets start at just $12. To learn more and purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/Sunday. The best way to introduce the game to the next generation. Let them get on the field after the game and experience the bases for themselves.
And make sure that they liberally use the concession stands and have a lot of sugar. Sunday at Wright Field, it's White Sox and Nationals, and it's our very first Kids Sunday. Join us for a special broadcast packed with fun, from a kid announcing the White Sox starting lineup to highlights of all the activities happening around the ballpark. It's a day made for young Sox fans. Stream it all on the CHSN app. Chicago Sports Network, full stream ahead.
See, when you have all that sugar, you need interactive activities so the kids have a chance to burn it off. And Sunday, there will be plenty of activities around the ballpark.
There's a young man just captivated. And the question is, what's he captivated by?
You think he's had a little sugar tonight?
Oh, just a little. Son, by the way, you're on TV, so do something.
Dalen Lyle 1 for 2 today. As Fetty trying to get out of this bases loaded jam. Good breaking ball, strike one.
That's a comfort pitch for Eric tonight. He's not spotting the fastball as well as he usually does, and so just that little breaking ball, that little soft slider, gets the job done.
Then with the heat, blows it by him, and right back in this count.
Up in the zone, you see the spin, doesn't break a whole lot. Looks like a fastball to the hitter, but he's seeing the spin. He's guessing it's going to come in, and doesn't.
2-2. Deep breath from Fetty because there's nowhere to put him. Did he go? He did not. Wow. That will walk in a run.
Look at it from the side.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
I think Lance didn't see it all the way through. His vision said he did not swing, and the slow motion replay looked like he indeed did.
Baseball has done an incredible job using technology to advance this game, and I think there's still a few tweaks in the rules that the baseball can see in terms of being able to challenge other things in this game to get calls correct. Ground ball up the middle. Montgomery starts it off. Not in time, so the run scores.
Just a little too softly hit. Chase does the best he can do, but unfortunately it's not fast enough. Sox played it as well as they could play it, but the ball is slowly hit, and unfortunately they don't get the double play. So we'll watch down the line. Not the fastest around, but he was going with everything he had, and it got him a run batted in.
I mean, you think about that play in Arizona on that Antonacci home run. It was certainly benefit the White Sox because they weren't allowed to challenge that play because no interference was called on the field. But maybe if you change that rule and allow a challenge to happen even if you don't make that call. Popped up behind the plate, room for Caro, and he makes the catch. When we come back, the rookie Noah Schultz. We will hear him on the mic for Friday Night All Access.
Welcome back to Friday Night All Access. I'm here with Noah Schultz, who gets his start tomorrow. He actually just pointed out that we're 2 for 2 on interview home runs, so maybe we'll get one here. Yeah. Speaking of home runs, though, we got to talk about Mooney. What has it been like just to witness what he's been able to do here so far?
Yeah, I mean, I've never played with anybody quite like him. It's pretty unbelievable. I mean, some of the ones that he hit, the 114-mile-an-hour ones, I've never seen anything like that. But like equally as impressive, the ones that he just flicks out, like the one today, where it's like it's just an unbelievable swing, and he's an unbelievable player. But I think that it's as important that he's such a great teammate. He's a great guy to have in the clubhouse, and he's awesome. I'm so happy to be here with him.
It makes it look so easy. Okay, but you have your start tomorrow, so I'm just curious, you're sitting here on the bench with the other guys. What are you looking for when it comes to preparation and how to handle this type of lineup?
Yeah, there's a lot, that goes into the report, but then there's also, the eye test, just, looking at the guys, watching the guys, how they swing, how they're looking at certain pitches and certain counts. There's a lot that goes into it, definitely.
James Wood, what stands out to you?
A lot of power, but, I think you got a game plan for him tomorrow. That'll be, I'm excited to go out there and excited to, go out and dominate.
All right, let's go back to your last 2 starts here, because I feel like the confidence grew from start 1 to start 2, but what felt like the biggest difference for you?
Just tell myself to calm down. It is, obviously it's the big leagues, it's awesome. It's such a, but again, just tell myself to breathe and tell myself to, calm down, in, the moments. It's a huge moment every time I, go out there. But, being able to, kind of tone it down a little bit, keep my composure.
Arsenal-wise, where do you feel like you're most confident with right now in your pitch mix, and maybe something you want to dial in a little bit more?
Yeah, definitely we've established changeup a lot more in the last couple weeks. Something that I know I was going to need at some point. To have a higher percentage. I'm really happy with all 5 pitches. Being able to split them equally. So it's just always something that you never know too obvious with what I'm throwing.
Real quick, have you caught up on all your text messages from your debut?
I have, yeah, I'm getting there, but it's awesome. I keep getting people texting me about it. It's pretty sweet.
All right, Noah, thank you so much.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right,
Guys,
Brooke,
back to
thank you so much. Noah Schultz at 6'10". Brooke, how many steps were you on there? Because you guys are pretty much eye to eye.
Yeah, I had to come down to the bottom step just to get maybe even up to his chin, you guys. Noah's really, really tall. I need to wear my heels. That's what I need to do. I need to wear my heels when I'm around him.
Heels and stilts.
I don't think you want me on stilts, Steve. You don't want to send me to the hospital now. I can barely walk in heels.
This one is crushed to the gap, and it's going to get down. Antonacci is digging for 2, and 1 out double here in this 5th inning.
That Sox double is brought to you by Elgin Hyundai, home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. And it's a double warranty on top of it. And this is why our fans are going to love Sam Antonacci, because he's thinking double all the way. And even though Young gets to the ball quickly, Sam realizes he's going away from the throw, and a 360 spin is not going to get him at second. He makes it easily, and he's in scoring position.
Chopper to short. Antonacci takes off for 3rd as Acuna is retired. The thing that stands out about Antonacci, he makes up his mind so early when he gets out of the box that he is digging hard, and then maybe he shuts it down as he turns the bag, but he's going hard the whole way.
Well, look, in your own mind of any hitter, it's double, double, double until they show you it's single. If you go single, single, single until you can run it into a double, you're not going to get near as many doubles. He will, before it's over, become a doubles machine.
He was bottom of the 5th. This half inning is brought to you by Prevagen. Tristan Peters with a runner on at 3rd. It's time now for a message from Ankin Law.
Hey, Howard, I got hurt at work in the warehouse. My boss doesn't believe me.
Ankin Law has over 100 attorneys and staff ready to work for you. If you've been hurt on the job, in a car accident, or suffered a medical mistake, call 312-6-MILLION.
Tristan has been a pretty good player. You can play him just about anywhere in the outfield. You can hit him anywhere in the lineup. He bunted enough early so that they play him in at 3rd base all the time. And one of the things that he feels more comfortable, it appears, pushing it than dragging it. But now the first baseman is back a lot. Not with 2 strikes, but it's a good time for him to start really refining the drag bunt.
Turns this one over to 2nd base as Nunez makes the play. The runner is stranded at 3rd.
Didn't come get it.
I would only be able to throw it first on that ball. I wouldn't have been able to catch. I would have caught it like at the grass. And I would have to throw.
You think so?
I know so.
But cut the distance as much as we can.
And I think Jersh was right about that, in that you want to come get it a little. Okay, don't come into the grass, but come a couple steps in. Jersh thought that had he done that, they might have been able to turn it. So I think his shortstop play has been remarkable. But that's something that you have to refine, and that's experience.
Acuna shifting over to his left to make the grab as we start this 6th inning. This half inning is brought to you by Elgin Hyundai. It's the ease that Colson Montgomery plays with. He makes so many difficult plays look smooth, look easy. You never really see him gunning the ball over to first because his arm is just so good. But to your point, they're just always trying to refine him and just make him a little bit better.
The shortstop position is probably second to the catcher as far as being an intricate position. There's a lot to it. You have to work as a cutoff man. You have to cover second base on a steal on occasion. You have to learn how to make all the double plays, and that's one of the reasons why you want one of your smartest guys at shortstop and the other behind the plate. Those are two key positions. Colson has done a remarkable job. I think everybody is pleasantly surprised at how effective he's been at shortstop. And again, to your point, he doesn't gun the ball across. He gets rid of it quickly enough where he can just get it over there accurately, seemingly each and every time. And I think his development defensively is equal to his development offensively.
And make no mistake, it's in there, but he just doesn't have to use it.
And that's he's got a strong arm. There's no doubt about that. And if you're going to play shortstop in the major leagues, you better have a strong arm if your name isn't David Eckstein, who in years past with Anaheim, his nickname was Just Enough. Because regardless of how fast you ran, regardless of how hard the ball was hit, he would get it there a half step ahead of you, and it was just enough.
Oof.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Marquette Bank. Marquette Bank is Chicagoland's trusted neighborhood bank and home lender. So level up your banking with Marquette Bank at emarquettebank.com. Marquette Bank, love where you bank.
Fastball missing up, so the count is now full here to Bibas. Nationals have scored 3 runs, but only one of them earned against Eric Fetty. Breaking ball is grounded here to second base, and there's 2 away. Sox fans, join us at the ballpark on Saturday, May 9th as the White Sox take on the Mariners at 6 o'clock. 15,000 fans will receive a women's athleisure jacket presented by Rush. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/promos. Another chance for Meidroth as he charges this one. The underhand flip. A good inning for Eric Fetty.
Stretch ball. Stretch ball. Let's go.
Get out. Cue the fireworks here on Friday night. Munetaka Murakami due up third here in this bottom of the 6th inning. He is now tied for the major league lead with 11 home runs this season. Want to get a snack? Get it quick because Murakami is coming to the plate. Second at bat for Andrew Benintendi tonight. He pinch hit back in the 3rd and flew out 0 for 1.
Michaelis got off to a really rough start this year, but last time out he finally showed what he showed a lot in St. Louis. He was a pretty good starting pitcher for the Cardinals, trying to resurrect his career in Washington.
2-time All-Star. Yep. Spent the last 7 years in St. Louis. Actually was teammates with Eric Fetty last year in St. Louis.
Nice place to pitch. A lot of humidity. Good ballpark. And usually the Cardinals were known for raising very fast outfielders who can run down your mistakes.
Time now for a message from Steele and Logan.
We've just received this bulletin. The Roswell Army Airfield has just recovered an unidentified aircraft that crashed near the base.
Honey, have you heard the news?
Receive $1,500 off the purchase of your new garage from now until the end of the month. Call us today.
This one is driven into left field. It is Lyle at the wall, and it's going to bounce off as Andrew Benintendi a double to start this home half of the 6th.
Then he won it in Arizona, and he's trying to start it here in Chicago. This one over the head of Lyle. It's a fastball. It's away, and it shows you how lively the park is tonight. Then he goes opposite way, and Lyle tries to run it down. He gets very lucky here, and I'll say why he's lucky. It hits the pad and bounces straight up. And our all-access fan cam will show you Benny running it into a 2-base hit, and the fans delirious.
And here's a challenge from Chase Mydroth.
The batter's challenging the pitch.
T-Mobile. ABS is powered by T-Mobile, and the call is overturned.
Just a third of an inch. It missed, and it did indeed miss.
If anybody knows the strike zone, it is Chase Mydroth.
Well, the reason I said that Lyle was very lucky, that ball hit the pad and bounced straight up. He was in so close to the wall after trying to run the ball down. If that ball hits the padding, it bounces by him, and it's at least 3 bases and maybe an inside the park home run.
I mean, the way Benny is moving this year, he can get around the bases. He dropped 10 pounds in the offseason. He is really concentrating on his leg strength in the offseason. Nobody out here in this 6th inning. Ground ball has been intended. He goes back to the bat. And Mydroth is retired.
And in the 4th inning, this ball off the end of the bat and gone. I mean, it shows you how strong Murakami is. That ball was far from the sweet spot. 415 feet and 104 miles an hour exit velocity on a ball hit pretty much off the end of the bat. And that's going to be it for Mike Loss. He's going to leave the ball game. And if anybody but a left-hander comes in, I'm going to be shocked.
I had a chance to catch up with some of the Japanese media about Mooney, and Yashiro Naito from TV Asahi told me there's a ton of excitement around him right now in Japan, even comparing it to the year he won the Triple Crown. And we know how many homers he had that year, 56 if you don't remember. But mainly what feels familiar is just the confidence he's playing with and the energy he brings every day. But Mooney also gets a lot of credit for what he does off the field, too. I was told a group of Japanese media members went out to dinner here in Chicago, and Mooney quietly picked up the bill, guys.
Oh, we like that.
I love guys who quietly pick up the bill. They can do it noisily if they like, but quietly is preferable.
Everybody who interacts with him just talks about his character, what he is like as a person, and just comes away just very impressed. Home run in his last at bat, 1 for 2 tonight. It is time for our lines to watch, presented by Circa Sportsbet. Sports betting the way it should be. We check out the odds for the AL Rookie of the Year. Now, we looked at these odds back on March 28th. He was plus 800. He is now the front runner at plus 180.
At the beginning of spring training, I think he was at a point where it was like 1,300 to 1,500.
ABS is powered by T-Mobile. We take a look at this challenge by Murakami. Nicely done.
I would assume when he challenges, he's going to be right most of the time. He has one of the great eyes in the major leagues. And they're going to walk him now because you've gone 3-0. He's undoubtedly got the 3-0 green light. You might as well put him at first base.
And you hear the fans. They don't want to see that. They didn't come in for an intentional walk.
Richard Lovelady comes on for the 10th time, an ERA in the low 3s. He was brought on to face Murakami, and he did face him by going to first base.
Miguel Vargas high in the air to left field. It will stay in the ballpark as Lyle underneath will make the catch. And there's 2 away here in the 6th. Are you ready for your winning moment? Find it at Wind Creek Chicago Southland, where the action never stops. Play the hottest table games, enjoy the newest slots, and celebrate big jackpots. At Wind Creek, there's a win waiting for you around every corner. MLB Plus is new for 2026. You can stream MLB Network 24/7 in the United States and select out-of-market games every week. Plus, you get radio broadcasts of every game, game day 3D, big hitting, and minor league action. You can visit MLB.com/MLB Plus to subscribe today. One ball, one strike to count here to Colson Montgomery. Runners on at first and second with the Sox down 2.
Look at the development of Colson against left-hand pitchers. One of the ways to do that, you have to keep the front shoulder in. If you fly open with the front shoulder, you get no coverage away. And that one looked like it was up and away, and we'll have to see.
Better is challenging the pitch.
ABS is powered by T-Mobile.
This one might have had a piece of the upper part of the zone.
The pitch is a strike. Chicago has one challenge remaining.
So we'll see how the White Sox decide to use their final challenge throughout this ball game. One ball, 2 strikes to count here to Montgomery. The other thing that makes this offense so fun is that it feels like they have been in every game recently with this offense clicking. Montgomery puts a charge into this one. It's going to drop in front of Wood. Benintendi, he will score. And the lead is down to 1. RBI single for Colson Montgomery.
Colson's development against left-handed pitchers shows you just how far he's come. Because when he came in this league, left-handers just spun the ball and he had problems. This time he waits on breaking balls, especially sliders middle away, drives this ball into the gap, and it's a 1-run game. Our all-access fan cam will show you the reactions of a very excited crowd here at the ballpark.
Ground. A flip to second will end the threat, but the Sox pick up 1. It is 3-2 after 6.
Nationals first base coach Corey Ray was on the field with the 13U Ace team during the Nationals BP earlier this afternoon. A cool full circle moment for Ray because he's also Corey Ray, former White Sox Ace program member, and Corey Ray, Simeon High School graduate, and Corey Ray, 5th overall pick in the 2016 MLB draft. He became the first ever Ace player to play in an MLB game back in 2021. Great moment for one of Chicago's own. And Steve, like you always say, we wish Corey and the Nats all the best as soon as they head out of town this weekend.
And that's exactly right.
An inspiration to so many young kids around the Chicagoland area. And that ACE program does so many good things, not just teaching them the game, but teaching them life skills, getting them to college.
That's probably, John, the best part of it is that you get a lot of these young men who would never have had opportunities. And the best part about it is going to college, because the odds of making it to the major leagues are infinitesimal. But going to college is going to help you throughout your life. And that's one of the things the ACE program does.
Tell you what, we were on perfect game watch across Major League Baseball as this one is hitting the air to left field. Paul Skeens, bottom of the 7th, just lost his perfect game. Let's go to Justin Jersley, who's mic'd up tonight.
I was a little worried when Varga gave it up. He did a good job staying there.
And he was talking about the rundown. And look, the best rundown is no throws, and the next best is only 1 throw.
My drop from the outfield grass makes the play.
If you watch Murakami on this one, watch what he does. At first he goes to the baseball, realizing he can't get there. He hustles back to the bag quickly. Now he's learning on a daily basis to be an everyday first baseman in the major leagues, and this is part of the growing process. Good instincts. He was down on the bag before the runner got there.
Meidroth bobbled that ball, had to relocate it and then pick up the bag, but never changed the expression on his face. That's Mr. Cali Cool right there.
There's no doubt about it. He's got a very slow heart rate. And when you don't panic on a ground ball like that, more times than not, you will make the play. The guys who get really excited and start bobbling it, well, then you don't make the play. Chase is not one of those guys.
Eric Fetty approaching 90 pitches. Came on as the bulk reliever in the second inning. How would you assess Fetty's performance so far tonight?
I think he's thrown very well, but he's got to be really careful here because Wood is thinking about only one thing, and that's hitting the ball out of the park. He went back to the slider, which has been his comfort pitch, and Wood, who was squeezing the sawdust out of the bat looking for a fastball, didn't get it.
3-2. And just foul.
This Sunday, top prospects return for a new season. Follow the next wave of White Sox talent. Billy Carlson, Sam Antonacci, and Tanner McDougal on their journey from the minors to the majors. Episode 1 premieres Sunday. Following the White Sox post-game live, you can stream it on the CHSN app or CHSN.com. Chicago Sports Network, full screen ahead.
Got it in. Unfortunately, a walk. The third walk for Wood here tonight.
And that is going to be it. Eric Fetty did a fine job. I don't think this is a bad thing when you fall behind Wood, who's a prolific home run hitter in a one-run game. Put him on first, turn it over to the pen, and a fine job by Eric Fetty. Follow our White Sox at ChicagoSportsNetwork.com, presented by Nationwide Insurance Agent Jeff Vukovich. Get to enjoy knowing the Vuk as much as you do the jingle at JeffVuk.com, because Nationwide is on your side. And Vuk is at the game tonight. He looks much better than that picture. Got a new pitcher in the ball game. It's Sean Newcomb, on for the 12th time. His ERA a touch above 4.5. As you can see, chase rate is pretty good, so the stuff you know is sharp. And he's got to pitch his way out of a 2-out, runner at first mini jam. Nice job by Eric Fetty. I thought that this stuff was very good. The slider was excellent for him tonight. We'll see if Newcomb can get out of this.
Eric Fetty watching on from the bench as Newcomb bends in that breaking ball. 0-2 the count here to Lyle. Two outs here in the 7th. Runner goes, and the pitch is fouled away.
So why run the runner there? The reason is that at 0-2, you want to bail your hitter out of the at-bat. Worst case scenario, Wood gets thrown out at second. You lead off with Lyle. If he makes it to second, you got a runner in scoring position. All in all, a pretty good idea.
Oh, 2. Got him upstairs. Strike 3.
Here's some high heat for you, and it ends the inning.
Welcome back to Friday Night All Access. I'm here with Colson Montgomery. Colson, take me back to the bottom of the 6th there with that RBI single. 2 men on, 2 outs. What are you looking for in that at-bat?
Yeah, I mean, just goes back to our scouting reports. You know, we knew this guy had a little sinker and sweeper, so I was kind of just trying to see him as high as I could. I took the first swing, and I kind of felt that I was, you know, too, I guess, amped up, too, like, swinging too hard. So I kind of told myself, like, yo, just settle down, put my swing on it. And just get a good pitch to hit.
That was off a lefty, but you've been doing really well versus lefties as of late. What's been the difference there?
In my eyes, I don't see any difference. I feel like if you're going to play this game, you got to be able to learn how to hit both the guys. And in my eyes, too, it's like they're going to throw something over the plate, and it's just a matter of being ready for it. You got to look at different angles and things like that. But I just try to stick with my plan and approach and just put a good swing on it.
Colson, appreciate you.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
That was really nice. Inside the mind of a hitter during the game is something that you're not going to get anywhere but All Access Friday nights, Chicago.
And not just any hitter, a future star for the White Sox, and you can hear the growth in where he was last year. Last year he was overswinging. That's why they sent him to the complex to retool his swing. Just understand that you don't have to swing out of your shoes every time.
Well, last year also, John, he was a guy that was looking for answers. This year, he knows how to adjust pitch to pitch, at bat to at bat. That's the maturation process, and you get a guy who was a #1 draft pick, and it's just an outstanding transition for him. Riley Cornelio making his major league debut. This was in the minor leagues, ERA of just under 2.5.
And Antonacci will draw a walk. That Sox walk is presented by IDOT. Stop for pedestrians. It's not a game. All right. Rocking the giveaway tomorrow. You think it's hot? I'm telling you, you are going to want this. Come on out to the ballpark. The team is playing so much better. It's just so much more fun, and we appreciate the fans. You can feel the energy coming back here to Chicago.
And imagine what's going to happen if they string together a couple of wins. It was a great road trip, 4-2 against two pretty good clubs, and they come home now. A lot of people here, and coming back in this one would be really nice.
ABS is powered by T-Mobile. Nationals challenge.
Austin has 1 challenge remaining.
So that was really close. 1/10 of an inch, but it missed nonetheless.
Acuna squaring early, pulls it back, ball 2. Acuna looking at Nico. And do you leave the bunt on there or let him swing away?
You take one pitch. You take one pitch. You want to get the tying run to second base one way or the other, and it could very well be on ball 4 because a guy making his major league debut has a moving plate right now.
3-0. Acuna squares, pulls it back. And there is the first big league strike from Cornelio.
And now you go ahead with the bunt. That's what you want, at least for one pitch. You want him to bunt, and you would prefer he bunted up the right side.
I said first big league strike. He pitched to Antonacci. That's all right. You know what I mean. 3-1. And there's a walk. Sox fans, bring your pup out to the ballpark on Monday for Dog Day, sponsored by Tito's Handmade Vodka. You can grab a seat in the outfield and watch the Sox take on the Angels at 6:30. There is limited availability, so to purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/promos.
Simon Matthews comes out to have a word, and one of the things he's talking about is the fact that Peters is probably going to lay down a bunt. And if he does, he wants to talk about how to defend it. And there's a lot of different ways on the wheel play to defend it. You could have the third baseman charge and the shortstop going to third. You can have the pitcher charge straight ahead or the pitcher charge to the line. There's a lot of ways to defend it. They went over which way they want to use now, and it all depends on where Peters bunts the ball.
The pitching has been the issue for the Nationals this season. Team ERA 5.63. That is second worst in Major League Baseball. Let's see what the White Sox draw up here.
Beavis in close at third with an angled body looking at the base runner at second.
Peters squares and bunts it foul.
Now that was one of the plays you can use, and that is Vivas charges, Abrams goes to third. Now what you have to beware of is Vivas charges, Abrams goes to pick off the play. So you see Abrams there at third base. The next rotation is usually the pickoff play at second after Vivas charges.
Peters lays down the bunt. He will force the pitcher to field and throws it away to right field. 1 run scores. White Sox put the pressure on the kid making his big league debut, and this game is now tied.
Great bunt by Peters. He got it down perfectly. And John, you hit it right on the head. The Sox put the pressure on their defense, the defense that has been a little shaky this year. And this one thrown away because he had no angle. A veteran pitcher doesn't make that throw because he's got no angle to make it. And for Peters, he helped tie the ball game. And the Sox are in business with runner at the corners and nobody out.
So it is ruled a single E1, no RBI given to Peters. But the Sox continue to threat here in the 7th.
With Benny being a veteran, he knows you got a struggling young man on the mound who's thinking about maybe grooving one. That's where you look to really sit on one.
1-0. Benintendi just getting underneath. He had the pitch. It is into right center field. Acuna tagging. He's got speed. Play to the plate. Safe. Sox take their first lead of the night here in the 7th. A sac fly RBI from Andrew Benintendi.
Young misses the cutoff man. And so that allows the trailer on the play into second base, taking the Washington club out of the double play. Great speed by Acuna. He scores. Here's our fan cam. The fans absolutely delirious once again here. Jersley saying, okay, go. Without that screaming, he never scores.
I love it. There is a different vibe on the south side right now. Let's go to Brooke.
I think Sam has finally got his breath here. Sam, what are you thinking? We have a challenge right here.
ABS is powered by T-Mobile.
Okay, you got Tristan Peters up at the plate. What's going through your mind? What are you thinking about in that moment?
Just knowing that he's probably going to drop it down and make sure to just see it down and not get too much of a big lead in case I get picked off. But yeah, just a lot of confidence in him to get that down, and I think that's our brand of baseball right now, and it's working. Just putting the foot on the gas at all times. So
you know, scores. Just how would you? And I saw you just dapping him. Just describe how much fun you guys are having right now.
A lot of fun, especially with all these people out here tonight. Just playing White Sox baseball, I think we're establishing a foundation of just a bunch of grinders who aren't going to let up no matter what the score is. And, you know, you can, you know, a very expensive player, especially in Mune, running out that ball the other night when he had no business to just jog it down the line. And then you got Miguel Vargas just hitting a ground ball and he's busting it down the line. I think that just goes to show the type of team we got coming right here.
Sam, I appreciate you. Guys, back to you.
We asked Will Venable, what would the identity be of this team back in spring training? He said, we're not sure yet. We're going to wait and see what's forming, but we are starting to see the foundation of this team. They're a bunch of hustlers. 2-2 count here to Mydroth.
That's really the key, because you're going to have nights where you don't hit home runs. You're going to have nights where the pitching isn't particularly good. You're going to have nights where you blow out the other team and nights where it's 1-1 late. But if you hustle every play and put the pressure on the defense as much as you can, you're going to come out on top more than you thought you were going to when the season started.
Look who's on deck. Murakami already with 1 home run tonight. tying the major league lead with 11 home runs this season.
You're probably going to hear some boos because if they get by Mydroth, they're not pitching to Murakami.
In there, strike 3 called.
The memorable moment presented by Prevagen in the 4th inning. Murakami comes up off the end of the bat and easily takes it out of the ballpark. 415 feet and gone to tie him for the league lead in home runs.
Well, folks, you can come back into the room and watch the TV because they are going to pitch to Murakami with 2 outs here in the 7th. Swing and a miss. He was looking for a long one there.
This is kind of surprising to me, but the young pitcher with a high fastball and a lot on it.
Murakami 1 for 2 tonight with an intentional walk. Sky high into center field. Waiting on it to come down is Young, and that'll do it for the 7th. Sox score 2 and take the lead. Fan cam as part of Friday Night All Access. See, that's the best part. Not only can you get a chance to get on the Jumbotron, now you can get a chance to get on CHSN as part of Friday Night All Access. Sox with the lead and a new pitcher on the mound.
Jordan Leisure comes on. Got a 1-run lead. On for the 12th time. The ERA a tick over 4.5. Chase rate good because that splitter and the slider are plus pitches.
This one a shot into deep right field, going back at the wall, and it is gone. Brady House, his 3rd home run of the season. And just like that, we are tied here in the 8th.
That's his 9th driven in, and he goes opposite field. There is one of those sliders, but it stays over the middle of the plate. A big effort by Peters. Unfortunately, he's not quite tall enough. Abrams has been very quiet this evening, and Sox would like to keep it that way. He hasn't had the ball out of the infield in 3 at-bats, but he is one of their leaders and one of their best players.
0-2. So a new ball game here in this 8th inning. And that went off the knob of the bat, so a foul ball.
That's a big break. Huge difference, 1-2 and 2-1. Fastball inside.
Oh, excuse me.
Catches the bat behind him, actually, which is a even bigger break.
Caro tried to frame it, but just outside. Good call by Will Little behind the plate. Two balls, 2 strikes. Jordan Leisure trying to regroup after giving up the leadoff home run here in this 8th inning. Swing and a miss, strike 3. How about a trip down on the farm? We're checking with Connor.
John, White Sox top prospect Braden Montgomery has been on one, a total tear. We're going to show you the numbers for his 11-game hitting streak, but you should know, just as we walked on here, he got a hit in his 12th game. It's just been a really great run for Montgomery over the last 2.5 weeks or so. Tanner McDougal came out of his start for the Charlotte Knights last time out. Hamstring issue. Sounds like he's going to be all right, and the White Sox are hopeful he can make his next start, which is a good thing for everybody.
We are loving what Braden Montgomery is doing right now in the minors. Chris Getz before the game said that they would need him to call up to AAA first before we see him in the major league. So they're going to guide him along and give him some time to develop. And the air to right center field. Acuna continues to drift back and will make the catch on the warning track.
Time now for the upcoming schedule presented by Toyota. Let's go places. And it's Washington for 2 more before the Angels come to town. Then the off day, and it's on to San Diego.
So Max Scherzer got the start tonight for Toronto. 1 strikeout away from 3,500 in his career. And unfortunately did not pick up a strikeout in his outing. Only went 2 1/3, gave up 7 earned runs. He has an ERA near 10 right now.
Well, Max was a great pitcher, but all those innings, all those injuries that he's endured has really shortened up his stuff.
The Guardians with an 8-6 win over the Blue Jays after the tough start from Scherzer.
That entire starting rotation collapsed. That's the reason why the Blue Jays aren't near the team they were, which came an eyelash from winning the World Series. Oh, and George Springer is out, by the way.
You did call that one. Fly ball to left field. It is Antonacci moving to his right to make the catch. Nationals get one and tie this game.
I got a bone to pick with whoever posted a picture of me today, though, with CHSN. That was you? I'm like running down to third. It's terrible. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. It's the best we got? God bless.
All right, don't take it out on Brooke. I don't think Brooke put together the graphic. Here's the picture that Justin Jerschley is talking about. Ooh.
Oh, that's a fine picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, you got nothing better than that.
One his family will be proud of, I'm sure.
What a good dude.
But George, it's exposure. That's what you need, more exposure.
We just hope he wears the mic again for us. That's all we want. Miguel Vargas on his bobblehead night leads things off here in the bottom of the 8th. Sticks out the bat. And he will beat it out, an infield single to start this bottom of the 8th inning.
A good piece of hitting right there, because that's not a pitch you can drive. That's a pitch you just have to make some contact. He hit it in the hole, and Abrams, a pretty solid shortstop, can't get to it. This is low and away off the plate. When you start your swing, then you gotta just make contact. He's able to beat it easily at first base, and that is the potential winning, but certainly the go-ahead run.
That was the hustle that Sam Antonacci was talking about, that everyone in that dugout is noticing, is picking up on, and is emulating when they go down the line.
That's the culture that Will and his staff put together with this team in spring training. And even with a slow start, they said, we're going to stay the course because we think this is the way to win.
Out of the zone, ball 2 here to Colson Montgomery. He was on the mic earlier tonight with Brooke, talking about his process at the plate. Not trying to overswing, going through the scouting report.
I think that was a big factor when he said I swung too hard early in the count. He was able to adjust that at bat, in the middle of the at-bat, which shows the maturation process.
Ooh, high strike called, and Montgomery wants to challenge.
The batter is challenging the pitch.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. That is a good ball out of the zone.
Well, I think for Montgomery, that's a pretty easy call to make. For Will Little, not so much.
Did you give him the green light here?
I do. I give him and Murakami the green light every chance they get. But with the young pitcher on the mound, he might be taking one. I don't know for sure.
3-0. Inside, ball 4. It is time for a preview of White Sox postgame live presented by Yuengling. We check in with our guys Chuck, Ozzie, and our good friend Gordon.
Oh yeah, Gordon's here. I'm surprised they've stayed with the rookie on the mound for the Nationals. I'm not complaining though.
It's good at bat. I think right now it's trying to score some runs because it's big run for them.
I like the fight. I like the fight with the White Sox that got down early, but then they've been just kind of crawling back. It'd be good to go ahead right now and get that win now. Don't wait around.
By the way,
what?
You look nice.
You look beautiful, Chuck.
Oh, you like what I'm wearing,
Yeah.
Ozzie?
Finally, you go deep in your closet.
Appreciate it. It's the Ozzie Guillen suit. Brought to you by Ozzie Guillen. Let's have a winning edition of the postgame show coming your way.
My eyes are still drawn to Ozzie's tie. I mean, every time the man's fit is on point.
Well, after a short meeting at the mound, they're talking once again about what is likely to be a bunt scenario. We'll see what Will has in mind. Edgar's been struggling a bit, but he's most likely going to get a first ball fastball.
Edgar Caro gives himself up early, squaring, lays down the bunt. It is the first baseman Garcia fielding, and a good pick by Nunez at first. But the sacrifice bunt does get down and advances the runners to second and third.
Nice job by Edgar. He got that bunt down in a situation where everybody in the park knew he was going to bunt. Perfect. He deadens the ball perfectly. He leaves Garcia with only one play. That's to first base. And he almost throws his ball away. That's a good pick by Nunez.
You see his face?
For the moment, it's a game saver because that goes into right field. It's 2.
Antonacci squared. He did pull it back for ball 1.
Slider in the dirt, and the dirt kicks up, and Millis gets a face full.
Yeah, he's probably got something in his eye after that one. Well, we have this break in the action. Enter the Ultimate Fan Sweepstakes for your chance to win the Ultimate Tailgate. The winner and 7 guests will receive VIP access to Minute Maid Spike Tailgate, and you get tickets to the Friday, May 15th game against the Cubs. You must be 21 and over with a valid ID. To enter, visit whitesox.com/sweepstakes. Justin Jersley with some instructions for Miguel Vargas. Let's see if Antonacci will be bunting again. 1-0. And he's swinging away as he fouls this off down the line.
Before that pitch, Garcia met with Nunez at second base, and pretty much what he was telling him was, if I charge, you have to cover first base.
Infield in for the Nationals. And strike 2 to Antonacci. Big moment in this ball game, tied at 4. One, 2. Down the line in left field, it is Lyle, a long run. He will get there, But Vargas will tag and score from third as the Sox retake the lead 5-4 here in the 8th inning.
One of the reasons why Sam can take a fastball down the middle as the second strike is that he's a contact hitter who's confident he can hit with 2 strikes. This is a fastball. He gets plenty of it. Lyle goes over. It's in fair territory. Makes the catch, but cannot stop the run from scoring. Sox on top. They battle back here in the 8th inning.
Colson Montgomery also tagged. He is now at third. What a stop by Millis, because that saved a run right there.
He really holds on to that slider a long time and almost throws it to the screen. That's a very good play. That's really difficult to do.
Luis Angel Acuna walked, and he would come around to score off the sac fly RBI by Benintendi back in the 7th.
The hustle by Vargas on that ground ball to shortstop set up this inning.
In off the plate, and it's 3-0 here to Acuna. The first game of this homestand, and the Sox would love to start it with a win. Three balls and a strike. Outside, ball 4. Let's go back to Justin Jersley, who was mic'd up.
Tag. Yeah, let's go. Down, down, down. Stay on it. Atta baby.
He's got to do 2 different runners, and you know Vargas is going to score easily. Then he worries about Montgomery, and he's telling him exactly what he wants him to do. Third base coach has a complicated job at times.
Bottom of the order is Tristan Peters. Way inside, ball 1, as Cornelio has been all over the place.
You're up a run. You got a very fast runner at first base. You think about sending him and putting the pressure on the defense. I am not sure he'd throw through.
Tristan Peters drives this one. Deep it goes at the wall, and it is caught. The Sox get 1 and take the lead into the 9th.
Try to stop me, look at me now. Look at me now. I take the crown. I take the crown. Look at me now. I take the crown. Look at me now. 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 I take the crown. Look at me now. Look at me now. Look at me now. Look at me now.
This game has been back and forth. The Sox taking the lead in the 8th inning and looking to shut it down as we start this 9th.
And the closer is on. Sir Anthony Dominguez on for the 11th time. 5 for 7 in save opportunities. This is why closers are invaluable. He's going to use that 4-seamer first and foremost, backed up by the sweeper and the sinker.
So defensive replacement as Derek Hill will enter the game. He will play left, replacing Antonacci to start this 9th inning.
This is a guy you really want to keep off base. He's 10 out of 11 in stolen bases.
Sir Anthony Dominguez already with 5 saves this year, looking to make it 6 here tonight. Celebrate your special occasion with a White Sox group outing. Get priority for top games and the best group spaces. You can enjoy a memorable ballpark experience with friends and family. For more information, visit whitesox.com/groups or call 312-674-1000.
This Nationals team has some power, but they got a lot of speed, and this is their premier base stealer.
Two in there, called strike 3.
First out, always a huge out, but especially with a guy who can run. He just looks at a fastball that has the whole plate. It's a 2-seamer at 98. Well caught by Edgar. He shows it to Will Little, and that's a big first out.
Luis Garcia Jr. is greeted with strike 1. Steve, the entire second half of this game, I've been wearing the pullover that is being given out tomorrow.
Don't take it off till Sunday, and maybe not even then.
This one hit to the gap. Acuna will cut it off before it gets to the wall. It is a 1-out double for Garcia Jr. here in the 9th.
It's never easy. This is a slider that stayed on the outer third. And Garcia, who drove in a run in the second inning, had a base hit in the 5th, now has a double representing the tying run here in the 9th. Acuna gets it back in quickly, but Garcia made it easily into second. Got a pinch runner. Weimer comes on.
So Joey Weimer will be the pinch runner representing the tying run on its second. And Jose Tena will be the pinch hitter at the plate for the Nationals. Fastball on the corner at 96, strike 1. Crowd of almost 18,000 here on this Friday night, and nobody's going home yet, as this has been a good one to start this series against the Nationals. Good stop behind the plate by Caro.
There's a splitter. Edgar comes across and is able to control it. Big difference between being on second and being on third. Can't score on a fly ball or misplayed ball in the infield.
On the ground, Montgomery. He will come to first with it as the runner, Weimer, advances to third, but there's 2 outs here in the 9th.
Now you're facing the most dangerous hitter in their lineup, and you can't afford to throw that splitter and throw it in the dirt. You got the tying run 90 feet away, and this is why baseball is a wonderful game, because it seems like you're going to have to face their best hitter to win a ball game, and that's exactly what we have here tonight.
It used to be the best hitter would be in the 3-hole, maybe the 4-hole in the lineup. But then people realized you want to give your best hitter the most at bats possible, and we're starting to see your best hitter at the top of the order like we do here with James Wood.
Yeah, I mean, 1 or 2, you see a lot of productive guys, a lot of guys who can drive in runs. Used to be the little guy who had a 400 on base percentage. Now it's not that guy. That guy's hitting 8th or 9th. It's this guy you're facing at the top.
James Wood is 0 for 1 with 3 walks tonight. And the first one in there, strike 1.
He threw a splitter. That was a very good call by Edgar, knowing that he could block, or thought he could block anything.
Fans rising to their feet, trying to cheer on Dominguez on the mound.
2 splitters.
We will go pitch by pitch with 2 outs here in the 9th.
Splitter at 86 apiece.
Tying run is on at 3rd. 1-1 pitch.
The 3rd splitter.
Steve, where are you going here this next pitch?
I would like to tell you a high fastball, but I'm going to tell you another splitter.
We've seen 3 splitters in a row as Dominguez looks for the save. Just missing down, and it was another splitter.
It was a splitter. Look, a face-high fastball is a really good pitch here. Even if you go to 3-2, it's a good pitch.
2-2. Outside with the heater at 98.
Right thought, just didn't hit the strike zone.
Let's see what Sir Anthony Dominguez comes back with. Here's the payoff pitch. Yeah, buddy! The strikeout to end the ball game as the Sox take the opener of this series 5-4.
This game had everything you could want. It had a Mooney home run. It had a great save by Dominguez. It had a cut back by the Sox. It had the young guys contributing and some of the young veterans coming through. They win the first game of the series, keep the momentum from the road trip, and you couldn't ask for anything more. And we'll go pitch by pitch to their most dangerous hitter. It's a splitter. 0-1. Evens it up at 1. 1-2. 2-2. 3-2, and he doesn't mind if he walks him. And there's the splitter to end it. Sox win at 5-4, and what a ball game this was.
After going 4-2 on the road trip, the White Sox carry the momentum back here at home at the rate. Fans are loving it. We love this energy. Sir Anthony Dominguez locks down another save.
Medium turnaround, 3 o'clock game, get your rest.
I'm not taking this pullover off.
Sleep in it.
White Sox with a 5-4 win here on this Friday night. Thanks for joining us here on CHSN. For Connor McKnight, Brooke Fletcher, Steve Stone, I'm John Schriffen. White Sox post-game live presented by Yingling comes your way next. Chuck, Ozzie, and our guy Gordon